Hey, how's everybody doing? Jason here. This is the show where we bring you some recommendations for new music, the stuff that we've been into the most lately. If you think your tastes align with ours in any way, these might be some good records to check out. So just gonna give you some quick little mini reviews, nothing too in-depth, but just give you a sense of whether or not you might want to check them out. These are my staff picks of the week. The first record I want to talk about is the new Becca Mancari record. This is her second record. I really liked her first album a lot, which was called Good Woman. It came out a few years back. That record was kind of a country-leaning singer-songwriter record, Americana. Had a lot of really good songs and great atmosphere. She has a really good voice. You may also know her from her side project that she was in for a bit with the Alabama Shakes' Brittany Howard and Jesse Lafser. That band was called Bermuda Triangle. They released a few singles and toured around and did some headlining shows. But now she's back with a new record called The Greatest Part. This record is less country, dabbles more in sort of like indie rock and dream pop, a lot of atmospheric guitar tones. She sings in kind of a higher whispery voice on a lot of this record. Initially, this new direction was a bit disappointing to me. I really enjoyed her first record and that direction, but the more that I've listened to this, the more I like it. And especially even just this last time through, I was kind of taking notes for this video. I just realized how strong really all of the songs are. The thing I really like about this record is that even though the production is maybe different and maybe a little more washed out, she's not losing the songs at the core. This isn't just kind of like a ambient mood record. There's still really good songs at the core of each track. And the production on it's fantastic. A lot of great guitar tones, really some nice keyboard sounds as well. Some of my favorite tracks would be First Time, Pretend, Tear Us Apart, Stay With Me. Probably my favorite track out of the whole record is a track called New, which has a really great guitar solo on it. So yeah, I really like this record, and I think it's still growing on me, and one that I think that I'll continue to revisit as the year goes on. The second record I want to talk about is a bit of a supergroup. This is a record by a band called Muzz. This is Paul Banks from Interpol, Josh Kaufman, who is a producer, multi-instrumentalist. He's played with a lot of people. Notably, you might know him from producing with Josh Ritter. He's done some of the Craig Finn solo records. He's also in the band that released a record earlier this year, Bonnie Light Horseman, which is another supergroup with Eric Johnson of Fruit Bats and Anais Mitchell. He's a great producer and also a really good guitar player, bass player. And the last member of the band is Matt Barrick, who was the drummer for Jonathan Fire Eater and the Walkmen, and I believe he even toured as a touring drummer with the Fleet Foxes as well. Really kind of taken by surprise by this record. It was a record that I saw was coming out and was interested to listen to, but I don't know that I expected it to be this good. I like some Interpol, but I'm not a huge Interpol fan. Paul Banks on this record is amazing. He's got a very distinct voice, and he's easily identifiable. You can really tell that it's him on this record, but it's very different from Interpol and the way he sings on those records. The style of these songs and the mood and the moodiness of these tracks is so different from what Interpol does that it takes him in a lot of different directions vocally, which I think is very interesting. This is not a hurried record at all. The group really takes its time to build atmosphere and mood and groove. These songs kind of unfold before you as they go along, which I think is really a credit to Josh Kaufman and his awesome production skills and his playing. Lots of great keyboard and synth sounds give this record a lot of really nice texture. A lot of the tracks on this record feature horn and brass sections to great effect, and just about every single guitar tone on this record is really interesting and cool. And like I said, Josh Kaufman's a great player too, so just a really good record that I think, rewards repeated listening as well. Yeah, this one's climbing my list quickly among the best records of the year. Favorite tracks for me are gonna be Evergreen, Patchouli, Everything Like It Used to Be, and All Is Dead to Me. And my last staff pick this week is gonna be the new record from Phantom Planet. Yes, that Phantom Planet. They're back after a 12-year hiatus. They're a band that I never really got their due, even in their own time. I think there was sort of always this perception that they were kind of rich Hollywood kids that sort of had their careers handed to them, you know, with their connection, Jason Schwartzman being in the band for a time and then having their song used as the theme song to the OC, I think was kind of a blessing and a curse for them. Obviously, it got them a lot more exposure, but at the same time, I think, it discredited some of their authenticity. There may be some truth to that, but it doesn't change the fact that they've always released really good records. For me, they've always been extremely underrated if you like power pop. Their record from 2002, The Guest, is a power pop classic in my mind, and if you're not familiar with that record, you should definitely go check that one out as well. But they're picking up pretty much where they left off. This doesn't sound that far removed from their record in 2008 called Raise the Dead. Just really good, big anthemic songs, very catchy choruses, but they know how to not overdo it. It doesn't become too saccharine or cheesy. They know where to draw the line. It's just really, really good pop rock, and I think there's a major lack of that these days. Most of the time, I think bands that try to do that sort of pop rock thing either go too far in a pop direction and it just becomes kind of corny, or they're kind of so afraid of becoming cheesy that they go too far in the other direction and they don't really give you the hooks that you're looking for. So I think Phantom Planet are really skilled at walking that tightrope and just making really good, infectious music. My favorite tracks are Bally Song, which is the opener of the record, I think. A contender for one of my favorite tracks of the year so far. Time Moves On is great as well. I also like Dear Dead End, which probably sounds the most like a track from their 2002 record, The Guest. I also really like the track Waiting for the Lights to Change. I think that song's fantastic as well. Really, every track on this record is pretty strong. I don't think it's a record that's to be overthought. I just think it's really, really enjoyable, and I think you guys will dig it. So check out those records. I really like all three of them a lot. Highly recommend all of them. So if you guys decide to check them out, please be sure to let me know what you think of them down in the comments below. Always interested to hear your guys' thoughts, and maybe let me know what some of your favorite recent releases have been. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you get notifications when our new videos come out, and we will see you in the next one.